Hello, my name is Crystal Petry, and you are watching season 3 of the Crystal Petry Podcast. Today, we are going to have a real conversation about real change. I get to sit down with comedian and visionary Jon Laster, the creator of Blapp, the groundbreaking app connecting people to Black-owned businesses nationwide. Together, we are unpacking how laughter, legacy, and technology are fueling a new wave of Black economic empowerment. Welcome to the podcast, Jon.
Oh, Crystal, thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it on behalf of myself and Blapp.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, where in the world are you, Jon?
I'm currently down in H-Town at Afrotech,
Houston,
20,
Texas.
in Houston, Houston is huge.
It is.
Yeah, so I'm in Houston, Texas at Afrotech 2025. Bam.
Oh, we see the handband, we see the band, we see the band. Well, thank you for taking a few minutes out of your extremely busy schedule to hop on this podcast. Tell us, what does Blapp mean? I know it's a combination of two words put together.
Yeah, Blapp means half Black, half app. That's kind of what it stands for.
Mhm.
But Blapp, to be honest, though, really just means shopping for things that are Black owned. So it's like Googling. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Yo, I blapped this. Yo, I blapped this sweatshirt. Yo, I blapped this watch. You know what I'm saying? Blap essentially means if anything you buy Black owned, you blapped it.
right. Oh, I love that. I love how you turned that into a verb real quick, like. So,
Yeah.
okay, Jon, you are a stand-up comedian, like your day job or night job for most comedians, they perform at night. How did a stand-up comedian think about creating this app and then go on to create the app?
It actually started, to be honest, a long time ago. Since I was maybe 14 years old, I've been
Wow.
obsessed with the circulation of the Black dollar. And then I
Huh?
studied it in college and came to realize what were the impediments to the circulation of the Black dollar. And fortunately, I think during lockdown, after watching Brother Floyd get killed,
Mhm.
the technology and the desire kind of crossed paths. And here we are.
So tell us a little bit about the Black dollar.
Well, unfortunately, in other communities, like take, for example, the Asian community, the
Mhm.
circulation rate in the Asian community is around 28 days. The white community, 17 days, Latino, 6 days. The Black community, it's just under 6 hours. So if you actually look at who is the wealthiest community in America, it's Asian folks. Why? The circulation rate of their dollar. This isn't rocket science, but the reason no one talks about it is they want our money. And they want us to keep doing the same things that we've done over and over again, looking for different results. And until we realize that we're the change we've been looking for, the car is going to stay stuck in the ditch. So you got to alter one of your habits today. If I can get that through to anybody, please make your first purchase today on Black.
Right. And so when you say circulation, that means that the dollar is staying in that community. So it's
Yes.
going from one Asian, maybe restaurant, to another Asian business, to another Asian business for 28 days
Yes.
before it leaves out and goes to another community.
Babysitter, tutor, plumber, electrician. I bought my used car from my Asian brethren. I
Mhm.
go to an Asian barber shop. I go to an Asian liquor store, grocery store, and it keeps circulating.
Right. And for the Black community, I had read, and this was a while ago, that it stayed within, not that it's any better, that it stayed within our community for one day. But
No,
now it's at 6 hours?
yeah, just around 6 hours. The last data that I saw on Chat GPT, think it said just under 6 hours.
Hmm. How are you building community through this app?
Well, first and foremost, we ask that you create a profile.
Okay.
So instead of it just being a list of businesses, you create a profile. You can blap stuff, which means that you think that it's dope, brick and mortar businesses, which shares with the community. Pretty soon on Blap, you'll also be able to DM, you'll be able to share products that you like. Obviously, I'm raising money for that. That's a whole nother discussion.
Yes.
The difficulty with Black founders raising money. But soon you'll have those amenities, which will build out the community. all day. Everything that you do will essentially be shared with the community. Or if you're like, hey, is there some place I can get a Black um, made neon sign? You'll be able to float that out into the community, and somebody be like, oh yeah, I know a sister down in Baltimore who does that. I actually do know one.
Oh, okay. So whenever you get on Blapp, you download the app and it's downloadable for Android and iPhone, correct?
Yes, I wasn't going to make that mistake the Clubhouse made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that part. So you make your profile and then you can add Black owned businesses like within your community to the app or to your
Yes.
profile.
And the app is not 100% perfect. So
Mhm.
if you see something, because sometimes the technology makes mistakes, you can also flag businesses that shouldn't be there. Again, the community letting us know. And Black folks, when they see something that's not Black owned, they will hit that flag button. They
Absolutely,
will let us know.
absolutely.
So yeah, it's a community effort to add and subtract businesses.
What does economic empowerment look like in this day and age?
Economic empowerment in this day and age, to me, looks like your community controls their their images, their say so, what we say is hot. Like, there's that saying that we make the culture, right?
Hmm.
But it's
Correct.
like, to me, economic empowerment means we make the culture, but we also own the chains of distribution. We say what goes on the New York Times bestsellers list. We say what is the number one Black owned movie. We say the Black movies that will get funded. That's what it means to me. We control the way that we are perceived around the world, and we own the means of distribution.
Right. I think the ownership, and you can speak more to this, is the most important part of it. Being able to own these entities and own where the dollar goes.
Yes, absolutely. And oftentimes, it doesn't matter where we're buying clothes or jewelry or lipsticks. I was just upstairs talking to a brother who he and I are trying to partner. He is a liquor distributor. So we
Mhm.
have the ability to get liquor on Black now. But he was saying, yeah, man, there's some other places that I could partner, but none of those channels are Black owned. So that's what economic empowerment means. That, you know what? Okay, yeah. So that way we can get the word out. Hey guys, during this blackout that's coming up, we moving off this Hennessy. And here are some other Black owned alternatives. We
Yes.
can get the word out, and you can buy it on a Black owned platform, buy a Black owned liquor on a Black owned platform. And now the circulation rate is beginning to increase. And if you think you got to worry about any racism or anybody coming out of their face when Black folks figure out what to do with their dollars, all that's going out the window.
That is. That absolutely is.
All that disrespect will go out the window, because they'll be like, uh-oh, you say something they don't like, and that
Hmm.
money gonna dry up.
Hmm. John, do you think that companies like Target, because of course they're going through a lot with the boycotting, but companies like Target and Walmart, like these major corporations, they realize how powerful the Black dollar is, even when African Americans maybe don't.
Well, I think I want to tread carefully. I am pro boycott, right? I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But let's talk about the greatest boycott of all time, which was the Montgomery bus boycott. The beauty of the
Absolutely.
boycott was that there was an organization, right? We were saying we're not going to get on the buses, but more important than that, what was also included in that boycott was, in the event that you need to go downtown, you work downtown, you meet here. If you work in this part of town, you meet here. You can't just boycott without saying where we're going.
Yes.
And something's being left out in these boycotts lately. Because you can yell and scream for as long as you want to. If you don't give someone an alternative, they're eventually going to get tired and have to go back into Target. I tell a
Right.
joke about it on stage.
Okay. Okay. What do you think was missing before your app?
In all fairness, I know a lot of people, and some are my mentors, who tried to create a Blapp before. So Me personally, I give credit to everyone who has gone before me. I believe that I was just in the right place at the right time. The technology was in a
Yes.
place that could be reasonably done in a reasonable amount of time, and you could amass a lot of things in the same place. So I just think that I just happened to be the one that tried it when the technology was sitting there accessible to me, and we were locked down.
Okay. Okay. So your app came out during COVID.
Yes, we started the process during COVID. So without that period in time where everybody was in the same place with nothing to do, there would be no Blapp. I wouldn't have the time. My schedule is pretty crazy.
Right. So your app has well over 100,000, probably over 200,000 at this point, right?
We
Downloads?
we hit we hit 375,000 downloads this morning.
300 and congratulations. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
We
That
hit
is
375,000 downloads this morning. On my
oh,
way on my way down here to Houston.
yeah.
You're a good luck charm, Crystal.
I'll take it. I will
Yeah.
take it, Mr. John.
Breaking news. Breaking
Yes.
news. Right here on the
Breaking
Crystal
news.
Petry Podcast. Breaking news. 375,000 downloads.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
huge.
Thank you.
That is absolutely huge. What does that impact do? And what does that look like in the community?
What it looks like is, I mean, each download, my brother always reminds me, sometimes I get down, I'm trying to meet with people who have huge platforms. And my
Mhm.
brother always tells me, man, to slow down, that Las Vegas was built on the nickel slot machine.
Yeah.
So what it means is, since we haven't spent a penny yet, it means that the community, this is organic growth to date. There's
Yes.
been no advertisement. We don't have a PR rep. There's no marketing campaign. This is just people getting the word out saying, let's go this direction. And each individual person that downloads the app makes the megaphone that much bigger. So that when we do sound the alarm, we're done with the Hennessy. Here
Mhm.
are some options. There's 375,000 people that can get that message out, which means we can get off of some of these old trains that much faster.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How can Blapp revive places like um, Tulsa's Black Wall Street, places like that?
I think that not only I think that it can revive local
Hmm.
communities, but I think it could actually take it a step further, because now that we've incorporated, what people are calling the Black Amazon on Black, the e-commerce, the online businesses, there's so many more things that you can now have access to, and pretty shortly it'll be around the world. So you might be able to buy some scarves from a Black-owned gallery in Paris or London or Nigeria. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
I love
When,
that.
right. When we're able to bring the whole diaspora together, game over.
Yeah, that's unstoppable.
Yes. And I'm not the guy to do the pie in the sky stuff. I'm
Hmm.
only saying that because I'm sitting in meetings and I'm watching demos of my team showing me, hey John, this is what's possible. Let's go out, raise some money, and we can show people how they can start to access goods
Hmm.
from other continents. So I think that the Tulsa thing is beautiful. I say support all of your local Black-owned businesses, just like we were just in Chicago doing. But there's some other things that you can also reach out to now online that should even expand that pool of things that you're looking for to buy.
What would you say are some misconceptions about buying black?
I think obviously the first misconception is that Black businesses, there's inferior service. And unfortunately, as a people, if something happens with us, they take that experience and spread it across the community.
Hmm.
You go into a business, and sometimes people are slow or something like that, or someone was rude, and people say, oh, Black owned businesses, service ain't no good. You go into a damn Chinese restaurant, they call you all types of names, don't even look you in the face, throw the money back at you. No one says, oh, these Asian businesses.
Hmm.
Or you go into a damn, some white bar, and the bathroom is dirty as hell, writing all over the walls, stickers, can't barely see the mirror. Nobody says, "Oh, these white businesses are awful." Each one of our businesses represents all of us, and there's no truth to that.
How can your app Blapp support entire communities, not just the African American community?
I think that unfortunately people don't realize that when the African American community is doing well,
Everybody.
everybody does. I'll give you a prime example. I just gave a speech overseas 2 weeks ago, and the example that I gave is that people were saying initially that Black athletes weren't smart enough to learn the plays and the systems, and that's why they
Yes.
couldn't. That's why they kept us out of basketball,
Right.
but the
And
fear
football.
and football. But the fear was that we would get in, move out the white athletes, and then they wouldn't be able to play. What happened was someone gave us an opportunity to play, and the whole pie got bigger. It's now an entity that's worth tens, if not hundreds
Yes.
of billions of dollars.
Yes.
It didn't get white people out of the game. It got white people more jobs.
And
It
money.
and money. It helped everyone. So this notion that, oh my God, if we let them do this, then it's gonna expand the whole pie.
Hmm.
Everybody will be like, glad we let that happen.
Glad we let that happen.
Everybody.
What would you say, John? I don't know if you have this information yet. What would you say are the most searched for things on your app?
To be honest, I think it is right now. It is daily goods. So toilet paper was a
Oh,
bestseller.
okay.
I know people didn't know that there was Black-owned toilet paper.
I
So
didn't know
people,
there was black on toilet. There's black on toilet paper.
yeah, you can go grab it on the app right now. You
Wow.
know something else though that has been catching up and has been starting to be very popular. Obviously, there's skincare brands that are on
Yes.
there that people love, but then after that, pet supplies.
Black on pet supplies.
There are Black-owned pet supplies, and people have been grabbing those up pretty quickly. I just put on dog treats. We should have cat treats, dog food, and cat food pretty soon, and also like leashes and then hopefully we'll be able to get clothing on there.
Wow. Okay, so mind blown because I did not know those things were black
I
owned.
didn't either.
Man, okay, so your app, one of the things about your app is depending on where you are, it will show you black owned businesses within like a certain mile radius,
Yeah.
restaurants and things like that. How
Yes.
does your app use that location and data responsibly?
We are not collecting anyone's data to sell yet.
Hmm.
Um, maybe one day I'll be the evil empire, but as of now, we're just trying to help folks find Black-owned businesses. One of the things that I'm doing down here at Afrotech is having meetings with folks to introduce AI to Black. So
Okay.
in the next 30 to 60 days, AI will be introduced to Black, which will help with two things. It'll help with the accuracy of the app. It'll also help us find new businesses that we missed. And it will say, for example, you have a watch brand and you take a picture of the watch
Hmm.
and you send it. You'll be able to hit generate AI underneath it, and it will make a cool picture of your watch, maybe at a cool bar, sitting on a bar or something. It'll be able to take the whatever product that you have and make it and put it in a dope setting.
Wow. Okay. Does your app have reviews? Because reviews are huge right now. They will either help purchase or, get somebody to purchase something else.
Yeah, the reviews. Every business owner cringes about reviews.
Hmm.
So, for example, like when we were first starting out with Blapp, there was a day that I went on a radio show. I
Okay.
did the interview, and the app had glitched. So people are trying to download it, and they killed me. And there's nothing you can do. The reviews are old. All of
Yeah.
those problems have been fixed. And then the other thing that I have is I have white folks getting on the reviews and saying, "Hey, this is racist, 1 star,"
Oh,
to make sure that
wow.
they drag down the reviews.
Yes.
So, if there's any way that I could get everyone listening to go and put 5 stars um, on the reviews page, that would be very, very helpful. But we're going to have to deal with that all along. There's going to be people who are trying to tear down the reviews. They're going to go there. This is racist, 1 star. This is racist, 1 star.
Right.
So yeah, please, if you can, go to the reviews and hit that 5 stars.
Absolutely. You have 375,000 folks download. So if each one hit you
Oh
five
yeah.
stars, yeah,
Well,
you
we only
there.
need a tiny bit of them to do that. 100 or 2 of them, and if 100 or 200 people do that, it'll climb right back up.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the economic impact of Blapp. What measurable impact has this app had on revenue and visibility of small Black owned businesses?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have data for the brick and mortar,
Okay.
right? So we don't have that data yet. The e-commerce is picking up. We're going to start our email campaign, I think, in 3 weeks.
Hmm.
So we're going to start actually pushing those 375,000 people into the e-commerce space.
Yes.
And then it should get interesting. I mean, I still get DMs and phone calls from the merchants on the app, like, "John, you have no idea how much this means to me."
Yes.
Oh, I get choked up every time. I had a guy one time tell me that he and his wife had packed up his law firm, and someone was on the app and was looking for a Black-owned law firm, found it on the app, and he's pointing at my logo, and he said, "So if you know anyone that works at that company, you tell him." I said, I tell him I own the company. He was about to start crying, and he said, "Yeah, someone came in and gave me a $5,000 a month retainer for the next 3 years."
Wow.
Yeah, he said,
What?
"Yo, that $5,000 a month might not be that much to you, but to me and my family, it meant everything." So I get those anecdotal stories that make it easy for me to get up and start working in the morning.
Absolutely. Do you think that your app can also be an educational tool to teach people about Black economic power, to teach people about the Black dollar?
I think that the Blapp ecosystem will be able to do that. I don't know if we'll be able to do it in the app, but we will be adding podcasts to Blapp Pod. So there'll be different podcasts that come about into the Black Pod space, because I am obsessed with financial literacy. So
Mhm.
clearly, some of those podcasts will be geared toward financial literacy in the Black ecosystem. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about your background as a stand up comedian. So, how does your background in comedy, how did that influence and shape the voice and tone of Black?
I think that my beginnings in comedy, when you first start, you really are terrible. So I was going up bombing every night. It's real quiet.
Yeah.
And that's a lot like a tech startup. You don't know what you're doing. You
Hmm.
just have to have faith, and you got to get up even when it's not going good, and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going until you get a sign that somebody says, "Hey, this is going okay." You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's essentially what I did. Now, fortunately, in addition to that, I have made lots of friends along the way. And those are the people who were the early funders of Blab. People like, my big brother, Tracy Morgan, Chris Rock, Mike Birbiglia. So they were the first people to put checks in. And then as I, moved into the e-commerce space, Tiffany Haddish was the first one to come on board and say, "I think you could pull this off. Let's give it a shot."
Wow. One of my last questions for you, John, was going to be who is the most famous person in your phone book contacts? But you're talking Tracy Morgan, Tiffany Haddish. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They are huge.
yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. So you said that eventually Blap is going to have podcasts on there. So is this going to be podcast that you host and lead,
No,
or okay,
I
no.
may host or lead one of them, but none of the rest of them. Yeah, at the most one or two, but yeah, it'll be other people's voices on the in the Black Pod space. Yes.
And what about documentaries? What is do you think eventually maybe you can extend to that as well through this app?
I'm a documentary fanatic, so
Oh, okay.
I love documentaries. So I would love to do that. But I don't have any near term plans for that just yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do people, small business, medium-sized businesses, how do they get on your app and put their information, their storefront, whether that's brick and mortar or digital, on there?
Yeah, if they have a brick and mortar, they can go to add a business. The digital will be able to accommodate early 2026. So we're unable to do that now. We'll be adding services, deliveries will be coming in 2026 too for some of the storefront opportunities. We have some partnerships that are coming up for that. But as of now, they can add a storefront by adding a business, and again, flag anything that that you deem isn't accurate.
Okay. So is it only small and medium-sized businesses on the app, or can it be large corporations as well, as long as they're Black owned?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't discriminate about the size of your business now.
Okay. So what is the next thing that you have envisioned for Blapp?
The next thing for sure is AI.
Okay.
That's the future of all tech. So, getting this AI propped up, and we've had meetings, conversations. So we're already working on it.
Okay.
And by the grace of God, we have a partnership with Google. So they've been taking a look at some places that we could add and enhance what we already have by way of AI that works around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to try to make improvements in Blab. And that's essentially what I do. But AI is, trust me, way
Yeah.
smarter than me.
And they don't need to sleep.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't need to sleep.
Well, I don't sleep anyway, so yeah, yeah.
So early in the conversation, John, you said you had some people that will get on and give you one star and say this is racist because the app is geared towards African American business and e-commerce. What is your response to that when people say this app is a racist app?
I mean, I have had a number of people, push me on that. Fortunately, the flip side of that, the flip side of people saying, "Hey, John, Blapp is racist," is all of those people that I've had a conversation with. My response to them is, Blapp is not racist. Blapp is a response to racism. You know what I mean? You can't fix the problems of racism doing the same things that we've done in the past, clearly, or we wouldn't have this problem still. One of the examples that I gave one of my friends is, I asked him, I said, Black people make up approximately 14% of 13, give or take a percent of the population. I asked him, I said, what percentage of venture capital money do you think goes to Black founders? He said, oh, it doesn't have to be exact. And I said, no, it doesn't have to be exact. I asked you a question. What do you think? He said, maybe it's 4 or 5. I said, keep going lower. He said, is it 2? Keep going lower. He said, no way. It's not 1%. I said, no, it's not 1%. Keep guessing. And Q4 last year was 0.2%.
What?
So I asked him, because an app is just an idea, right? It's just creativity. That's
Yes.
literally all an app is. I said, either Black people are, one, not creative, or two, in 2025 still don't have access to capital. There was nothing that he said, you know what? You got me. I
Hmm.
didn't know that. I feel bad. If there was more information out there, then I wouldn't have felt the app was racist. He said, you're right. It is a response to racism, because that makes no sense. No one is going to sit around and say Black people aren't creative. So
True.
clearly there's a lack of funding once again.
Yes.
Historically, that has been true in this country for 400 years. We're,
Hmm.
we're in the same place. We got to do something different to get out of the ditch. You
Right.
can't do the same thing to get out of the ditch as you did to get in the ditch.
And you can't wait for other people to do
No,
it. You got to
no.
do it yourself, which is what you have done with this app.
Instead of whining and complaining and protesting, all I'm asking you to do, find one company to adopt. One. You only need to do one, because if you find one a month, just find one a month. That's tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars going back into the Black community.
Mhm.
This notion of people disrespecting us, and the hood would be gone. You would have to hire too many of your relatives. There would be no more black unemployment if we would find one business, new business to adopt a month. That could be toilet paper this month. Next month, you could say, "Ooh, I like those sunglasses. Oh, you know what? I like that dishwashing detergent. I'm going to use black laundry detergent the next month." Before you know it, gone. And we don't need to yell. We don't need to scream. We don't need to wait on an election. We just have to alter our habits.
Mhm.
Black people next year in 2026 are predicted to have a $2.1 trillion spend. We have $2.1 trillion spending power next year. Trillion. If you isolated black folks from America, we would be the 12th largest country in the world.
Wow.
And our dollar circulates just under 6 hours. Where does that put us if we ever approach 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days?
Yes. Wow.
This ain't complicated.
Hmm. Yeah.
Not complicated. We're 12th in the world right now, and we're spending just under 6 hours. Our Asian brothers and sisters have 28-day circulation rate. Where would we be if we had a 28-day circulation rate?
Wow. And where would this country be if you really did remove
If
all of the
you
black
unleash all
dollars?
that potential.
Wow. That is amazing. And that's, you know what? Let's go back to your call to action because I want to make sure people hear this. So, your call to action for every person that's listening to this podcast, watching this podcast right now, is to adopt or purchase from one black business for an entire month.
What I'm saying is, because I know that I'm not asking people to alter all their habits all today, right? So what I'm saying is, I was talking to this sister and she was, she's more on the militant side, whatever, whatever. So it was a podcast like this. And I said, "What kind of soap did you use today?" And I could see her wheels turn. And she said, "You know what, John? Dove.
Mm.
There is the problem. It's not this outside crazy, whatever, whatever." Also, my call to action is switch out the Dove.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you till next month to think of something else to switch out. You ain't got to do it all day. One thing a month. We are talking about tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars coming back into the black community over the next 2, 3 years if we all do that. Now, my house is filled with black stuff now. I got black owned toilet paper. The soap that I used this morning is black owned. The toothbrush that I use is black owned. You know what I mean? But if we could switch out one thing a month, obviously my clothes is black owned. I got on Jordans. I got on Blapp. God forbid that we all start wearing. One of the campaigns that I want to have is Blapp to School, where kids only wear black owned clothing for that first week. That way they can all see the different brands and then continue to shop. God forbid we ever get there.
Wow. I love the way you're thinking.
It's there
Love
for
the
the
way you're
taking.
thinking.
It's there for the taking.
And
Because
if you
it,
think about it, I was thinking about it when you were talking about the Dove story. How many like individual items that we purchase if
without thinking about it,
without thinking about it? How many individual items that we purchase without thinking about it? If you just swap out one of those,
one.
just one.
Do you know how much money we spend first thing in the morning? I think that our estimated spend on coffee is 12 billion.
Is that African Americans or everyone?
No, us black folks.
Really?
It's somewhere
12
between
billion.
11 and 13 billion. What if there's so many black owned coffees, but we don't think about it? Most people can't name 3 black owned coffees.
Hmm. I just know one, Black and Bold.
That's what I mean.
I just know one, Black
That's
and
what I
Bold is
mean.
a black-owned coffee company. Yes.
There's coffee uplifts people. My homegirl Angela Yee, and I'll give you one more quick. There's Matumbo coffee out there, but there are lots of black-owned coffees. I was just in Chicago at the place that I was at, Sip and Flavor has their own coffee. There's Cribby Coffee in Chicago. There's tons of black-owned coffees, but we can't even name three.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get there if we're not even aware of our brand? So that's what I'm trying to do. Load them up on Blapp so that when you do go to get that black and bold, you like, oh, I didn't know there was 12 more of these joints. Let me try some of these.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then you can have conversations with folks about, oh, I tried this black owned coffee, this black owned coffee. You got to try this, girl. And before you know it, we bring those into the ecosystem. That's in the morning. That's
That's
just
in
in the
the
morning.
morning.
First thing in the
Wow.
morning, we done dropped 12 billion during the
I
year.
can see the possibilities as you are talking. I can see the possibilities. Wow. Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna get you out of here because I know you at Afrotech in Houston, Texas, Mr. John. What is your intention? And you've been very passionate about the entire Black economic empowerment throughout this conversation. What is your personal intention for creating this app and what the app can do?
My personal intention, my North Star, that's actually in my pitch deck.
Okay.
If there's any investors out there looking to put some money into a dope app with 375,000 downloads, call your boy.
Yes.
But my intention, and it says in my pitch deck, there's a slide that says, is to alter people's spending habits. So if someone is thinking in the morning and they get into their shower, right, or they pull back their shower curtain, like I could get a black on shower curtain. How often do you need to buy a shower curtain? That's not
Right.
going to kill me to order a black on shower curtain or a bath mat or a bathroom rug or a toothbrush. My intention is to alter people's spending habits. So once you can start to get that ball rolling, then there's so many other things that we could think about. You know what I mean? If we could alter black folks' spending habits, if I could get those spending habits headed back into the community, I will have done my job.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to be on this podcast. I appreciate you so much, John. And like I told you when we initially spoke, I have the app on my phone and I use it and I was showing you that, but I just wanted to do more than just the download. I wanted to make another impact some kind of way. So I know that my community, they listen, they apply, and they buy.
Awesome. Well,
Yes.
yo, thank you so much for using your platform to help get the word out. I always tell people every single person we come in contact with can do something. So
Yes.
I would like to thank you for doing something. I truly appreciate it. You have no idea how much this means. Like I said, my brother always says, man, Las Vegas was built on the nickel slot machine. Every little nickel is how you ended up with that insane city in the middle of a desert. And
Yes.
that's what we're trying to do here. Every single nickel counts. So I appreciate you for this opportunity to spread the word.
Thank you. Thank you so much, John. And to my community, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. You can get John's podcast and all of my other podcasts on YouTube Podcasts and Apple Podcasts. And remember, you always have time to listen and learn on the go.